The boy was horrified to find a line of words cursing him suddenly appeared on his homework book. He was full of doubts and tried to ask who the other party was in his reply. The woman on the other side was frightened and stepped back when she saw the words that suddenly appeared. After calming down, she found that the handwriting was exactly the same as her husband's. Thinking that this was the exercise book her husband used when he was in college, the woman had a bold guess. Maybe she could communicate with her husband 13 years ago through this exercise book. So she replied to the other party with a triad attitude and told the other party that her name was Shunan. The boy was immediately surprised because Shunan was right next to him at the moment, so he thought the other party was a liar because Shunan was so likely to scold him. So he immediately questioned whether the woman was lying. This also made the woman sure that the other party was her husband 13 years ago. So she quickly wrote back to the boy, but she didn't talk about love with him, but asked him to stay away from Shunan 13 years ago. This immediately made the boy very confused because the two of them during this period were a well-known loving couple in the school. Knowing that the boy couldn't believe it, she told him about her marriage life after that. 10 years ago, the woman was bullied by her rival and his men, which eventually led to uterine injury and loss of fertility. At that time, in the hospital, the boy said that he would still love her forever, and the two of them soon held a wedding. The woman thought she would be the love of his life. But as time went by, the man wanted a child more and more, until they went to dozens of hospitals and could not solve the woman's problem. The man left her alone impatiently. At noon, when the woman went to the man's company to deliver lunch, she accidentally discovered that the man had betrayed her. He not only hooked up with the secretary but also made the secretary pregnant. At that moment, the woman's heart was broken. The vows her husband made to her were now like bubbles that were blown away by the wind. So after being able to communicate with the boy 13 years ago, her only request was to keep the boy away from Shunan 13 years ago. However, the boy did not believe it at all. He could not imagine that he would betray the girl he loved most. Just when the woman wanted to explain, the man in this timeline came back and asked the woman where the jade pendant was. She knew her husband's mouth. The jade pendant in the picture was the heirloom her husband gave her when they got married. At the same time, her husband also told her about the scheming woman's pregnancy. Seeing that his wife was still motionless, the impatient man pulled his wife to the bedroom to get the jade pendant. As a result, he accidentally stepped on the notebook. At the same time, a big footprint appeared on the notebook 13 years ago. The boy immediately realized that something had happened to the woman. Soon the woman was dragged into the room by the man. Under no circumstances could she give the jade pendant to her husband. Seeing the man's anxious look, she knew she had lost. Then the man said that he was going to accompany his secretary on her birthday and left without looking back. On the other side, the 18-year-old boy also began to believe the woman's words. If the 31-year-old himself really let down Shunan, he decided not to confess to Shunan before solving the problem. In another time and space, the woman was surprised to find that the confession letter the man had given her had disappeared.